Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Stuff I Heard podcast. I'm your host, Josh Peak, and we have just celebrated Thanksgiving, and I am so full still. We personally were able to go on a road trip down to visit my wife's family, and while we were down there, we got to eat and have a good time visiting with everybody and sort of reminiscing and that sort of thing. The weather was a little bit chilly, but that was nice, and yeah, I got a turkey from work, and my wife got a honey ham, and we took those with us. We cooked the turkey and heated up the ham and all that stuff on Saturday, and just made a huge spread. We found a really good macaroni and cheese recipe on TikTok, and I like it. Um, we uh, we just had a good time. Um, but I was on the trip. I decided to take some koozies with the name of the podcast on it to hand out to her brothers and anybody else who wanted a koozie because I wanted everybody to have something, some kind of merch from the thing. I did over a bunch of these things, so I was trying to give them away. Um, but it never hurts to like spread the word and that sort of thing. So I did that, and I ended up having several conversations with people um, about what the podcast is about and what about why I do it and what I'm doing with it. And there's a lot of discussions that have to do with, I wanted to build community. I wanted people to be able to talk to one another. I wanted to normalize conversations that people otherwise wouldn't have, where they felt embarrassed or whatever, to have the conversations. And I felt like it was an opportunity for me because of my job at work. I have those conversations with people all the time. And the biggest thing that I found was that we all have common ground. We all have something that we have shared experiences for. It could be the way we were born. It could be, where we grew up. It could be, for me, married, divorced, kids, raised kids, um, different problems having the kids grow up, lots of challenges along the way that just never seem to stop becoming new challenges. And yeah, so it's been an interesting journey along the way, lots to learn, and I also found that there's a lot of people going through the same stuff, and sometimes you can give each other advice, or sometimes it's nice to just have somebody to talk to. So that was the point of it. That was the whole idea when I got started. There was a lot of things I was interested in that I wanted to share. There was a lot of things that other people were interested in that they wanted to share, and I just wanted to create a platform for that, and I think I have. Um, there are times that I have a lot of stuff I want to talk about because of something going on in the news or the media or whatever. And I try not to bring politics into it because I know that that just makes everybody crazy, and I don't want to add more crazy to the scenario. Um, I like the character of people. I like the problem solving skills. I like the kinds of conversations where people look outside the box. Um, and I'm drawn to those people. Whereas, on the flip side of that, in my personal life at home, I like the fact that there's a lot of routine because life in general hands you a lot of curveballs that you can't prepare for, and you got to have some balance somewhere in there. Either your work is chaos and your outside life is chaos and your home is balanced, or vice versa. You go to work and it's just a mundane job, and you get home and it's chaos. I mean, you got to have some balance somewhere, right? So I don't know. Along the way, I figured my position of it was to try to be as consistent as possible. And once in a while, I'm my own worst enemy. Anybody else your own worst enemy? Um, Sometimes I think and say and do things that I regret, and I can't fix it. All I can do is learn from it and move forward, and hope that I don't hurt the people around me when I do something foolish. So, with that, I am continuing to learn and grow as a human. Uh, yeah, and we all are, right? So, um, more to come with that. But yeah, so it was good to see family. We had a great meal uh, together as a big group. Um, I just enjoyed it. It's nice to get away. We did get to watch some really good football, also college football. I knew that the huge matchup this weekend was going to be Michigan Ohio State because they are both ranked I think they were ranked 2 and 3 right now, or were, and they were going to play each other, and the winner of that was supposedly going to have an upper hand when it comes towards the national championship. But honestly, I knew these teams are going to have a slugfest. They're rival teams anyway, so it was fun. I enjoyed watching it. Michigan won at the end, and I have a friend who's a huge Ohio State fan, and I'm sure he was yelling at the TV. And I mean, they still won every game except that one, and they could potentially, be in the playoffs still. I don't know how that all works out, but I'm sure there's some kind of football math where that could work out. But yeah, very interesting. Um, I did watch one movie this week. That's pretty cool. It's called The Killer. It's not fully spelled out on the screen on Netflix, but because it's like a weird code thing on the screen, but you can tell it's supposed to be the word killer. Michael Fassbender plays the main character who's supposed to be like a hired assassin, and he's on a job, and I don't want to spoil it, but it doesn't go as planned. Um, he makes a mistake, and it's interesting because you hear his monologue of how thorough he is with his process and how he's so comfortable doing it that he feels like he's fine tuning every step, and then he makes a mistake like at the final time when it's time to do his job, he messes up. And the repercussions of that is when he goes home, um not that anybody's supposed to know where he lives, but when he gets to his home really, really far away, he finds out that someone has invaded his home and um, injured the person that he cares for. And so now he's like, okay, I gotta find out who did this, and I gotta get payback, and about it's like a revenge type thing. And the whole time he's going over the ideas of, if I'd have just done the job, like none of this would have happened. If I'd have just completed the job, and I screwed up, and I shouldn't screw up because I do this all the time. It's interesting. But anyway, the little vlog thing that shows up when you Google it, it says so, solitary, yeah, solitary, cold, methodical, and uncumbered by scruples or regrets. A killer waits in the shadows, watching for his next target. Yet the longer he waits, the more he thinks he's losing his mind, if not his cool. And this is directed by David Fincher. Now, I didn't know I was such a fan of David Fincher, but David Fincher has done a lot of the movies that I've really enjoyed watching growing up, namely Fight Club and Seven and Gone Girl, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Alien 3, The Social Network, The Game, Panic Room. I mean, just a list of really, really good films that I've enjoyed. World War Z. Apparently, he likes working with Brad Pitt and vice versa. There's a lot of Brad Pitt tie-ins here if I scroll down the list. But yeah, I like a lot of his stuff, and they're all like psychological thrillers. Almost every one of them. Um, there's usually an element that is just you find yourself out loud going, "What? Holy cow!" Benjamin Button. Yeah, he's done a ton of movies that are just really, really great, really weird, but also really great. So anyway, I didn't know that he had done this until I watched it, and I saw his name pop up when I Googled it, and I was like, no way. Like I said, Michael Fassbender is the main character. Tilda Swinton is listed as a celebrity you would know also in this. She's not on screen, but maybe 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Um, but it's a neat role. She does it well. It's a good conversation. She's supposed to be another assassin, and they sort of have a face-off conversation of discussing realities of their job and how crazy it is, and um, what the job is, and that sort of thing. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a neat movie. I don't think it's one that's a family movie. It's not a family movie. It's not a mom movie. That's for sure. Mom, don't watch this. Um, but uh, but yeah, I enjoyed it. So anyway, it is what it is. I haven't been able to listen to much as far as podcasts go or watch much of anything. Just been kind of busy, you know. Everything's kind of focused towards our trip. And often that's the way life goes, right? But I got to tell you, um, I'm enjoying the cooler climate. I'm enjoying looking forward to the holidays. My wife has been a busy bee running around the house and cleaning and preparing and uh, getting Christmas presents bought and wrapped, and the tree looks beautiful, and she frets over it, and I tell her it looks beautiful, and she still frets over it, and it drives me crazy, but I love her for it. Um, so yeah, you know, it's the time of the year, right? Tis the season. Uh, I've got a few projects that I'm going to be working on here soon. Um, got to build a table. I want to build a table. I want to build a table. I haven't said that in a long time. I want to build a table. I kind of got rid of all my wood, um, most of the wood, when my eye got injured because I felt like I would never be able to do that sort of stuff again or ever trust being near power tools or wood flying or whatever. Um, and I don't know. There's something about it where when you're doing it to be artistic and you're just like there's no rush, there's no expectations. Like, if you're making something for somebody, there's expectations, and you feel a little pressure the entire time of, oh, did I do this right? Does it look right? Does it? When you do it for yourself, you still do that, but you can take your time a little more and you can think about it a little more. And I've got roughly a couple of weeks to work on this. Technically a month, but I can't work on it till we have this Christmas party out of the way. So yeah, a couple weeks. I'll have 2 weeks to get it done. So I better be coming up with a plan and be able to put it into action so that once I get it built, I'll be happy and ready to rock and roll to take it with us back to Georgia. But yeah, so that's it. That's all I got. It's a short one. Okay. Happy holidays. Hope everybody's doing well. Please stay off your phone when you drive. I teach driver safety. Okay. Don't touch your phone when you drive. That's just the main thing. All right. Okay. That's it. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for watching. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, share this with your friends. And if you want to be on the podcast and talk about anything, let me know. I'd love to have you on and we can talk about anything. I can talk about anything. I think I can. I could try. I could try. Yeah. So, cue the cow.
Cue the cow. Moo, baby.